Tonight we're not in studio, as you can see. I'm actually in Tralee as we look ahead to Sunday's All-Ireland football final between Kerry and Mayo. Now, although I'm here, don't worry if you're a Mayo fan, because Michael Lester is there and we'll be going to him shortly. But it's amazing here in Tralee, just a short few hundred yards. There's so many All-Ireland medals. Sean Walsh's place is over there, Mike Sheehy's 100 yards past him. This is Owen Liston's office. You can see the staff haven't forgotten him there with the beard. I'm not sure if the S stands for Superman or senile, but it's there in the window anyway. But I'm moving on because I'm heading for the manager of the Kerry minor team, Charlie Nelligan's coffee shop. Come on, Charlie. Thanks a minute. Well, now, you should have been there nearly with your minors beaten in the semi-final. That was a bit of a heartache losing in a replay.
It certainly was, but in fairness, we were beaten by a good Tyrone team. Both teams gave it all, and at the end of the day, fortunately for Tyrone, they came out on top.
Who will win it, Tyrone or Laois?
I'm very happy to call.
You've played Laois, haven't you?
We have played Laois 3 times, we haven't beaten them. And we won't beat them now at this stage, but it's a very hard one to call. I would slightly give Tyrone the nod, all right.
That replay would be a big help.
It would be a great boost to them. It was worth a month's training for them itself.
Well, thanks for the coffee.
All right.
How are you grilling now, Charlie? How many interviews have you done since the semi-final, Paddy?
Well, yes, I've done an amount of interviews since the semi-final and all through the year. I suppose it's because really that, you know, that the Kerry team are making a bit of progress this year, and there's an awful lot of interest. There's an awful lot of interest in the team all over the country.
Charlie was saying that the hype now is much greater than when you were winning all your medals.
Well, there's a way more colour now, and I think, you know, television has an awful lot to do with that. And it's great to see so much interest, especially the young people. And I know that there's a big contingent of Kerry supporters going to the capital for the weekend.
Because weren't you urging the kids to get their shirts earlier on there? Because when I worked here with the Kerry man, Kerry was the one county that didn't have lots of colour in Croke Park.
That's right. Kerry supporters always kind of kept it very low key, even in All-Ireland finals. But all this has changed now, and it's great. It's very good.
The colour adds to it, doesn't it?
It does indeed. It does. It does. I remember in 1985, the year I was captain, and there was a flag in Lisbon and Billy Casey's house, family house, former Kerry footballer, and we thought it very strange to see somebody putting a flag out.
How times change. Well, I suppose the other thing now is just you're heading up in 2 days' time, but what is the hardest bit? Is picking the team and having to make changes and tell fellas, is that the most difficult part?
Well, that's very difficult, all right. It was very, very difficult this year because we have a panel of 27, and all of the 27 will be travelling to Dublin at the weekend. Unfortunately, we can only talk 24 of them because Croke Park rules state that we cannot take our full panel onto the field, which is I don't know. It's just a bit hard.
That's awful. I think, and these 3 have been at every training session. And
oh, they have been. Players have been in the shake-up for positions on the team, on the playing team. But no, we just have to.
And they cannot go with the rest of the squad. They must sit in the stand.
That's right. That's right. But there will be all the panel will be together for the bulk of the weekend and before and afterwards and all that. But it's just unfortunate that they will not be allowed to sit in the dugout. I
know the rule is there, but how do you feel about it? Do you think they should all be allowed in the dugout?
Well, certainly they have been with us all along. It would have been great, but that, you know, if they are the rules, we just have to abide by them.
Yeah. And how did you break the news to lads who were unlucky, who didn't make the team?
Well, we selected the team on Tuesday night. We selected the team on Tuesday night, and I personally contacted the lads myself then after that. And,
was it difficult?
It was difficult, and can assure you it wasn't. It's not an easy job, but I think that we have been stating all year and that the strength of the present team is our panel, and we're a very clannish group of players, and we certainly will be going very much together on that weekend.
Okay, tell me a bit about Mayo. What do you see as the Mayo's strengths?
Well, I suppose their big strengths is that they have been there last year on 2 occasions. They played in 2 finals, and you know that they certainly have a good few established players on the team as well who have been on the Mayo team for quite some time, you know, and so they will be able to blend a bit of experience with a bit of seasoned players, and you know, They're their strengths.
Are you looking forward to the match? Do you find it all very tense now?
Of course, it's very tense. We're all tense, but we're certainly looking forward to it. It's the last big game of '97 now. It has been a very long campaign for all of us, because we have trained right through the league last year. We started training in October, so you can nearly say that we're at it a year now, So we're delighted that it's coming to a close.
Des, thanks for coming, buddy.
Tashkelagam.
And then where's all this noise coming from? Marty, you with the children again. Still haven't passed your exams, Marty. What do you want?
The worst thing about that fella, Cal, is that when he's presenting Sideline View, he doesn't want to let anybody else to speak. I'm here at Glenbeigh National School in the heart of the Kingdom of Kerry, where All-Ireland titles are quite numerous, to say the least. Many Kerry men have 8 All-Ireland medals, but here at Glenbeigh National School, one of the teachers, Mary Jo Kern, has 10 All-Ireland medals. I have 4 here at the moment. And here at Glenbeigh, she's continuing on the great tradition of Gaelic football and spreading the love of Gaelic football amongst the young people.
You need to only look at the colour and the excitement around in all the primary schools. They're very excited about it. The sense of excitement is great for them, and it's all part of the atmosphere, even as you pass through the village. This morning in Glenbeigh, the local club and the community have got together and put up colours, and it's all adding to the excitement for the children. Nobody in a primary school in Kerry would remember Kerry's last appearance in All-Ireland, and very few of the secondary school children. So it's a new thing for all of them. The county board here, they're marketing it in a much better way, more professional way, and they're selling the colours, and it's adding to the enjoyment for the children.
It's going to be a very, very big game for Kerry. I know obviously a lot of you are interested in the match and looking forward to it. You got to remember that to play in Croke Park you're going to have to be dedicated, train hard. And many of the players that have gone before you have all gone through the same route. Some of the players that are from your own club here and we've gone to the same schools as they've gone. So the tradition is here in Kerry. If you're going to reach the very, very top in Gaelic football, then you're going to have to start, at the bottom, training hard and in all kinds of weather. Then you get the ultimate honour of playing for your county in Croke Park. If some of you are going up there and you're going to support, it's important that you're very vocal and that you let everybody know where you're from and that you, keep the proud tradition of Kerry football alive. Let's go, take it through. All the other counties started to set up little coaching courses, programs for their kids, and they started to develop that a little bit faster than our kids. We found in that, they were able to compete easily, at the top level. The so-called predominantly strong counties weren't, dominating anymore. And maybe for the first time in many years, Kerry learned from other counties, looked around, saw what other counties were attempting to do and doing, and try to actually focus on maybe developing their kids in the way that they would like to see them playing in Croke Park one day. I think that Kerry don't have a divine right anymore, to be winning the All-Irelands that they did maybe in the past decades. But what I would say is that the tradition is still here and that the ability is still here. And I think that the kids that are being produced here in the county are still of an enormous high quality.
Kerry youngsters then with a lot to live up to. Videos and giant-sized figures adorn the walls of the GA Museum in Tralee. Manager Paddy O'Shea must seem like a colossus. Bomber Liston is a legend in Kerry. John Dowling brings back memories. Micko was the great stylist, and All-Ireland medals littered Pat Spillan's career. But winning came too often, and Kerry's appetite for All-Irelands grew jaded.
I remember the last time we won the All-Ireland in 1986. The Sam Maguire Cup came in here actually to the college, and the students had been so used to it that some of them actually going out the back gate rather than listening to the speeches and featuring the cup. And I can assure you it's a different story now. The reaction is unbelievable and much different to what it was 11 years ago. Everybody now wants to go to the match. Of course, everybody needs a ticket. All the kids want to go. They've never seen Kerry win in All-Ireland. And for the first time ever, there's a sea of colour around Kerry. They have seen what Clare and Wexford and other counties like that did over the last few years. I think the young people in particular, and probably the women as well, are saying to Kerry people, we must show our colours as well, and the colours will suffer things.
The Ghost Train has its own special place in Kerry football folklore. Nowadays, the steam engine travels from Tralee to Blennerville, and the pupils of St. Patrick's National School in the Windmill Village had their own message for Mayo. Who is tilting at windmills then? Just now, the green and gold is flying high. The pride is back in Kerry football.
Everybody wears jerseys now and they have headbands and caps, and if there's ever an important game coming up, they'd always be busy making headbands and things to wear around your head and wrist and all that kind of a thing.
Going up for the Munster final as well as the semi-final, it was envious just to look at the players running onto the pitch and all your friends cheering for them and everything. You want to be there a couple of years.
If you go to a football pitch in training, you'll see people be wearing a Kerry jersey nearly everywhere, and you come back into town, they'll be still wearing them. Dirty or not dirty, they've great pride in the jersey.
So the Kerry children in great form as they look ahead to their first final in 11 years. But more importantly, let's find out how the players feel about it.
We have worked very hard to get to an All-Ireland final, but if you ask me about being a player of the Kerry team that hasn't represented, I suppose, Kerry in All-Ireland final, it's been at times perhaps frustrating, but we've always believed that the potential was there to get to an All-Ireland final, and it hasn't been for want of training or work or commitment from any of the players over the last number of years.
I think the team's physically stronger. I think that was a major factor last year in the semi-final. We've won a National League title, which has given us a lot of experience. So we're definitely an improved team from last year.
There's a lot of talk about individual players and so on in this team, but if you look back over our championship games this particular year, it has taken a number of different players in each particular games that have bailed us out.
Kerry this week and over the last couple of months have been one big happy family. You know, we've won aim, and that is to win All-Ireland final after 11 years. So the morale is good, and the team are ready for Sunday.
There is a great buzz around the county at a particular moment, but within the actual team itself, we're very focused, and I suppose as such we're not able to enjoy as much of the celebrations coming up to the match, but this team is very focused on the job at hand, and we hope that we can maybe go one better and maybe enjoy it afterwards.
Ultimately for ourselves, we want to win the All-Ireland, to prove it to ourselves that we can win the All-Ireland. I don't think any players complete really without an All-Ireland medal, and it would be great to have one, and hopefully things will go well for us, you know.
Well, as the Kerry players look ahead to the big day on Sunday, there are still a few Mayo people, you know, who have to survive here in Kerry, and one of them is Pat McTighe, who's with me, who ironically is secretary of Cairns O'Reilly's, one of the biggest clubs in Tralee. As a Mayo man, Pat, you must be getting some stick.
I can say that. Since the semi-final, the slag has been rising, and especially since Mayo beat Kerry last year, it even makes it better.
Are you able for them?
Oh, you can say that again. Definitely.
And of course, you also have the added problem of being a Mayo man in charge of the few tickets that the club get here.
You can say that. As secretary, you look after the ticket allocation to the club. And it's like the miracle of the loaves and fishes. You never have enough to go around.
I can imagine. Who do you think will win, honestly?
I hope Mayo. Definitely Mayo.
You hope?
Definitely Mayo.
OK. Well, that's where we're going to go now, Pat. In fact, we're going to check out how the players are getting on up there. Michael Lester has been in the Mayo camp.
35 seconds on my watch remaining, plus stoppage time. Meath trailing by a point as Colin Coyle pumps it in. Graham Geraghty's in after it. They're all in after it, and it's bounced over the bar. 70 minutes last time, couldn't decide this one. Here's Brendan Riley. Will he be the All-Ireland final hero? Trying to set up a chance. The angle shot, and it's gone over the bar. Brendan Riley has kicked his first point of the match. But about 18 seconds to go. And it's to Meath, and it's to Tommy Dowd.
Yes, wrecked. After all of the excitement of last year, Mayo's football dreams ultimately ended up on the scrap heap. However, time, they say, is the great healer. And although this thing here may never move again, Mayo football is back on the road and back into the All-Ireland final. And so once again in this county, people are dreaming and talking and singing about Sam. yes, there's a buzz all right, and the sound of lots of money being made.
It's very good business. The sport's is great for the players, and the spirit is really good now. There's so many people in and out every day. Just even having a look, everything is selling. Everything we have is selling, but especially the jersey. The jersey would be the biggest seller that we have. We have two main jerseys, which would be the home jersey and the away jersey, which is green and red, and then there's the white and red one. We have the T-shirts as well that the players are wearing on the day, the polo shirts, the blue one hanging down there. We make up a lot of stuff ourselves and put the print on them. The polo shirts with the Mayo crest here and All Ireland finalists 1997 on them. We also have sweatshirts with the Mayo crest here on them in All Ireland 1997. But we'd be able to do up any kind of T-shirt you wanted, like.
And it's not just the merchandising industry which is being dominated by the match, so too is the music one.
OK, everybody, that of course was Nan Monaghan there and the kids from Ballyhale National School singing for their school bus. Of course, Nan is the aunt of Mayo forward John Casey, and John has another connection here in the charts in Mayo because Tom and the Burns Babes, Tom being an uncle of John Casey. Here's the voice. Our lives, Michael, are totally wrapped up in the All-Ireland final. The music programmes, advertising, the news, the sport, everything from when we wake up to when we go to bed, it's football, and the All-Ireland final. It's unbelievable. The amount of stuff that's come in here to Midwest Radio over the last 2 to 3 weeks, we have never seen anything like it. Not even last year. I mean, there's about 14 or 15 of them actually in the shops. But what we've got here is maybe another 20, 25 of them, just on tapes, cassette. We cart them all up. The response from out there has been absolutely fantastic.
Do you play them all?
We play them all, every one of them, and every one of them are enjoyed because to somebody out there, a particular song means an awful lot to. So yes, we will play every one of them.
And played out and sung out, they will all head for Dublin and ultimately for Jones's Road. And there they will savour an atmosphere so many of them experienced in 1996.
Every footballer's dream is to play in an All-Ireland final. We got a taste of what it was like last year to play in 2 All-Ireland finals. So all the lads made a commitment at the start of the year that we were going to get back there and try and win an All-Ireland this year.
I've never questioned the character of this team. I never will, because to me, they're absolutely superb. We've terrific individuals, but they've great morale, great team spirit. There's a great esprit de corps amongst the group. It was their goal and their target. It was those guys who decided, look, we want to win in All-Ireland, not me. And I think that's significant. And once we got the ball rolling, we're here now and looking forward to the 28th of September.
Ultimately, only 15 of the panel can make the starting lineup, and when the team was announced during the week, there was a change from the semi-final. John Casey coming in for James Horan at left half forward. Despite a loss of form during the summer, Casey still had the unswerving support of his native Charlestown. But while the town was willing to sing his praises, John chose to keep a lower profile. His brother Declan explains why.
John himself this year is keeping a low-key affair. It's not that he doesn't want to talk to anyone, it's just I'd say he feels comfortable himself rather than being hounded like he was last year by the media. Not actually hounded now, but like they were always looking for an interview. The phone never stopped ringing, and this year he would first say, I'm not in, concentrate and think about what's ahead next weekend and get on with the job.
He's obviously had to cope with the fact that he's also lost his place in the team during the summer.
Couldn't have lost it to a nicer fella, being McHale in there. He had sort of made the number 14 his own. At the same time, he knows himself, being a part of this panel and being a part of this Mayo team, whether he was number 46 down the line, to get as long as he's a part of it, you know, we're all happy for him and we'll just keep backing him all.
Support, yes, but enormous pressure too placed on these anxious shoulders, as some former Mayo heroes fully understand.
There's major pressure on at the moment because we haven't won an All-Ireland since 1951, and as we said, that we lost out badly last year. So I think like there's nothing being taken for granted, and everything is going to be kept low-key for the players so that we can achieve our goal on Sunday.
anything less than a victory in an All-Ireland is not good enough anymore. You're not remembered, I think, for losing All-Ireland finals, no matter how you lose them, whether it be a point or by 10. We are all a little bit caught up, and I find myself a little bit anxious myself these few days and wishing that it was Sunday and that the whole thing was here and that it would go well for us, please God.
3 All-Irelands in 12 months is unprecedented in Mayo, and I think the only currency that will be important this year to the Mayo people is the currency of winning. And I think a win next Sunday is the only thing that will really, I suppose, appease the appetite, so to speak, of the public. Because 46 years is a long time waiting. Last year they got the appetizer, been there twice. This year I think a win is the only thing that is going to satisfy them.
Quite honest, we'd love to fast forward to Sunday morning. It's kind of hurry up and wait kind of thing, you know. There's no doubt about this, there's no pressure. I was up this morning around 5, 6, 7. The night before, again, I was drinking hot milk around 4 in the morning, and there's no doubt about it. I would tell a lie if I said there wasn't pressure. Of course there was pressure, and any manager that would tell you differently, I'd say, mightn't be totally truthful. There is pressure. Getting up to the final last year, people went travelled in hope. This year there's an air of expectancy about the place. And I know we're going up against a very formidable outfit, and there's no question, but it's a 50-50 game. No, and a bounce, a hop of a ball, a lucky break, a decision at a critical juncture in the game would probably decide it. I expect a very close game, so we don't have a right to win it. I think this team certainly has the ability to win, not alone one All-Ireland, but win 3 or 4. And it's a question of making it happen. I believe they can make it happen, and I believe they will make it happen.
Well, great excitement up in Mayo, great colour up there, but there's plenty here as well. I'm back at the Cairns O'Reilly's Club in Tralee with 2 very famous club members, Owen Liston and a former dub, Vinnie Murphy. Vinnie, are you going to cheer for Kerry on Sunday?
Sure, you'd have to cheer for Kerry.
I don't know if you have to. I didn't when I was here.
Well, I'm playing with 2 of the lads that are involved on Sunday, the 2 Shays, and I met a few of the other players like Pale playing during the year, so you know, I've got to know a few of them, so you'd have to be giving them your support, you know.
Yeah. And who do you think will win it, even though you're cheering for Kerry?
I think it'd be tight. I think a lot will depend on the midfield and how Kerry, you know, how they combat McManaman. But I think they will beat them.